Eya Andersen, vice-president of the World Bank in the Middle East and North Africa, and an ex-sector director for sustainable development in the Africa region. Eya Andersen, welcome on Mosaic FM Radio.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Cooperating with Tunisia, this became a dear habit for the World Bank. A year after the revolution, how do you evaluate the economic situation, the investment perspective, and of course, the real chances for development?
Well, the fundamentals are strong. Yes, there is a crisis, a more global issue that clearly affects Tunisia. There are also issues spill over from neighboring countries, Libya, etc. But at the same time, having said that, Tunisia has a solid fundamentals which are worthwhile holding on to. You have a deeply educated, we have strong institutions and strong educated cadre, have a strong business environment and an entrepreneurial spirit from millennia, thousands of years.
Hope, positive attitude and confidence in the economy, that's nice to hear. But Ms. Andersen, reality and figures impose a negative growth. Till now it's minus 1.8. Any concrete steps, program or decision to implement the development?
Yes, business has contracted. People have left. Companies have shut down. Tourism has dropped off. So what needs to happen to re-energize these sectors? That's a conversation we are having. I think there is an understanding amongst the government what they need to do. You have a possibility now of getting back into the positive growth, and that's what we are very much expecting, provided that the government follows this path of ensuring a stable business environment, making reforms where reforms are needed. We think that this can turn around.
Ms. Eya Andersen, after your official meeting with the new leaders of Tunisia, head of the current government, the president of the National Constituent Assembly, and even several representatives from the business field and civil society, you announced a 2-year strategy to back up Tunisia. So what about this strategy?
We try to have a strategy a little longer than the political transition. When your process is done, the constitution is done, and you will have the elections for the elected parliament.
So in this case, the financial help of the World Bank would depend on the success of the democratic transition.
We will have a little more time. Once we see the political process moving into the longer-term elected parliament, we would then restart a new strategy.
And this process is based on?
The process.
Yeah. You were talking about governance, transparency.
Our program will be in those areas, but it's too soon for me to say. But we've worked with ensuring that ministries publish their budgets, their services, that they even issue scorecards for themselves on how they're doing, or that citizens can give them scorecards, and ensuring that corruption and so in Tunisia, some of these things have already been handled, as a matter of fact, and others are still on the to-do list. But we will see with the government what are the elements on the governance side, on the social accountability and transparency side, on the growth side, and on the job side that we need to push.
Technically speaking, the World Bank did cooperate financially with the government of Béji Caied Essebsi. It's about a package of $1.3 billion at that time. Now, with the new leaders and government, what would be the new amount of financial help, and when would it be exactly paid? Is it for the next few months?
$1.3 billion. That was last year. We brought 500 million. I think African Development Bank brought another 500 million. And the last 300 million were brought by the European, and we would probably try to put something similar together again.
So it's going to be a new package with the new government?
That would be my expectation, but we're still writing the strategy. So probably you will get the numbers, I would say 2 to 3 months from now.
Eya Andersen, Vice President of the World Bank in the Middle East and North Africa and ex-sector director for sustainable development in the Africa region. Thank you very much for being with us on Mosaic FM Radio.